Hi, everybody. I'm Kat Street. I am a writer and filmmaker based out of Los Angeles by way of Philadelphia.
And hello, greetings and salutations. I am Carletta S. Hurt. I am currently in DC, a producer by way of Georgia.
Welcome to the Black Film Challenge. This challenge was created a couple of weeks ago, so we had a little bit of time to prepare for everything. But it is it's a challenge that was created to not only showcase Black films, but to also showcase Black filmmakers and also non-Black films. It's just films made by Black filmmakers. That was the key, because as both of us are filmmakers, there needs to be more representation behind the camera. So, that's the deal with that. And the reason I came up with that, I was just sitting around one day and I was like, you know, how many movies can I find that meet different criteria made by Black filmmakers? Like how many, comedies are there by Black filmmakers or horror movies by Black filmmakers? So that's kind of how it started. And so I started to make a list of like what each category would be for the different days of Black History Month, so 28 days. And it was a challenge to not only make the criteria, but then to also find the movies to make sure that the criteria worked. So for example, like throughout the course of the challenge, when you play along, you will find stuff that's like, oh, find a movie by a Black writer director and also a Black cinematographer included in that for that particular challenge. So you have to find a movie that has both of those things. So for instance, for each day I do give examples, so to get the ball rolling and everything. So for that particular day, I use the example of Hollywood Shuffle, which has Robert Townsend as the writer director. Sorry, not Hollywood Shuffle. It's The Five Heartbeats, writer director Robert Townsend, and the DP is Bill Dill, who's the Black cinematographer. So that's kind of how the challenge works. So each day there will be a post, and each day there'll be a post, and you just have to respond to it with the hashtag Black Film Challenge, and that's how it works. And
yeah. No, so really, guys, when you listen to this and watching us live or later on, it's really about just being intentional around conversation about Black filmmakers. When Kat first posted, we're in a mutual group, and I saw it, I was like, oh, this is interesting. And I'm an educator, so I love learning. And so when I saw what she was actually doing, I was like, wow, I really want to be a part of this, because we're not having those conversations. We talk a lot about Black films and who's making what, but who's really making Black films, And so it's really important from my perspective, and I think Kat's also, is that we begin to have real conversation on who's making movies, what are they doing behind the camera, how does that impact stories being told, and eventually impacts the world. What we do does mean something. And I think what this Black Film Challenge speaks to is Black filmmakers, Black creatives who are behind the camera, and what their art is saying in the world, and how can we amplify that art when we know about it, and then how can we have real conversations around, wow, we're missing this voice in this area behind filmmaking, and how can we get somebody in that position, or how can we find a person who's actually doing it, and maybe we just don't know about them. So a part of this is, some great movies are out there that we don't know about, and another part of it is that there's some great people doing some awesome things we also don't know about. So
yeah, I agree. And that is the key, to not only find the movies, but if you have time, watch the movies if you haven't seen them before. And also, if you're an indie filmmaker out there of African descent, by Black filmmakers, I do mean people of African descent, so not just limited to African Americans, but just anywhere around the world. Like if you find that you are a filmmaker who's done a sci-fi short or something, you are more than welcome to post a link to your short or a trailer to your short for that particular, when that daily challenge comes up, just so we can see it, and so you can so you can share your work, because we want to see everyone's work, and we want to see what's really out there, because what the studios distribute to us versus what we actually create are very different.
Yes.
And that's something that I've learned while making this, while making this challenge. Like some of these criteria, there's only like a handful of films for those particular genres, and it was a little eye-opening for me, so I hope that it's eye-opening for you. And if there are any studio execs out there looking at this or something, like, you got work to do, we're
Yeah.
here, so
Yeah.
we're doing the work, so you need to help us help
No,
me.
I agree. I think also part of the passion behind this project is that there's so much being done that we don't know about. One, so we're hoping to really discover some cool people doing some awesome things, and
Yeah.
that we've got to start doing some more work. Like the work is not done, and so in doing this monthly challenge, we're pushing everyone. All of us out there in the filmmaking world, in the industry, even corporations who support films in different ways, is like, how can we make sure that voices are being heard and that those positions that create products like films are held by people of color, by Black people. So I think you're really going to enjoy this challenge. You're going to learn a lot of stuff. Stick with us the entire month, the
Yep.
1st through the 28th. We have some amazing things coming up. And I guess, Kat, you want to just kind of, share how to actually participate. Like, what is it going to look like when you do the Black Film?
Yes. So there is a website called blackfilmchallenge.com where you will find the full calendar that has all the things to look forward to. Then with also our Twitter and Instagram handles within that calendar, which is how you will follow us. And each day with those handles, we'll be posting daily what the challenge of the day is. So for instance, tomorrow, the challenge of the day is Black male writer director. That's all you need to do. Find a movie with a Black male writer director. You will find the film, find a trailer of it or a GIF of it, post it, like post a response to it from that initial post with the hashtag Black Film Challenge. And we will look at it and make sure that it fits the criteria. And so over the course of each week, we'll tally to see how well people did, and the people who did the best will get some prizes by the end of the week.
Yes, and we have some really cool prizes. So this film challenge isn't for just only filmmakers. So you can be a regular person who enjoys films. You can be somebody who just has some useless film knowledge you want to share. It's open to everyone. So we have prizes to fit every person who participates. So we have free yoga classes, we have passes to film festivals. So those of you who just enjoy watching really good films, there's a great chance to get a pass to see some really awesome film projects that aren't like nationally released. We also have subscription services for streaming networks. Some of us who don't have cable, who are just like, I want to try something different. I want to watch some saturated, commercialized projects. So these streaming networks give you that option. We also have some beauty care products. We want to look cute. It is COVID, but a good Zoom call may call for a little blush and mascara. So we are really excited about those who decided to support us and to support those who are participating. So make sure participation points matter, like in school. Make sure you participate every day. Again, the 1st to the 28th. Yes.
And don't forget, there's also some swag involved, like not necessarily branded Black Film Challenge. I mean, maybe we might do that. I don't know. We'll see. But we do have some swag by some different sponsors, like Afro Horror Podcast was generous enough to donate some things, and Black Girl Film School as well. And, hopefully some more in the coming weeks.
Yes. We are still taking donations for gifts and prizes. So if you want to donate, please hit us up. Myself or Kat, we're always open to some awesome prizes for our participants. Again, like school, participation points do count. So every day, post Black Film Challenge hashtag.
Yep, that's the key. And make sure, if you're having trouble finding these things, remember IMDb.com, the Internet Movie Database, is your friend. Google is your friend. Wikipedia is your friend. I could say with confidence that all these challenges are possible to meet. It just takes a little bit of research, a little bit of triangulation, as it gets a little bit more complicated, but we'll get you ready and you know, get you on.
Again, Kat is the researcher guru of all time. So everything you see on this calendar, everything you see, she has found. And you're like, that doesn't, yes, it does.
Yeah,
So
I found more than one just to make sure that it's not an unfair thing. And, you know, if there is like, if there is a complicated or more difficult challenge, because the key is that you're supposed to be finding feature-length films, and they could be fiction, documentary, they could be, you know, made for TV movies. Don't forget that. Don't sleep on that, because that will save you for some of these challenges. As long as they're 50 feature length, which is like an hour and 20 or to 2 hours or something long. But
so don't post a short, people. Don't post a 30-minute, a 35-minute. That's not a feature.
Yeah, that won't help. But I will indicate when a short film is allowable. If there's only like 2 features or something in existence, then I'll say, yeah, you can post a short. That's fine.
So just keep in mind. But I think but the biggest part too is just we want to learn. Like, you may know a film that we don't know about. So there are going to be some gems out there, some secrets that we've never heard of, but it's a feature-length film, has any sort of distribution, even a film festival, it counts. You know, a gift or a picture, right? It works.
Yeah, a GIF. Yeah, just a GIF or a trailer. A GIF or a trailer. It has to be accessible, I would say, for
public domain
to watch. So it can't be like super underground. Even if it's an independent film, you should be able to, like, we should be able to find it, you know, like unreleased stuff.
It can't be in your mom's basement on a DVD that you never released. Like, that does not count.
Right.
Like, we don't want to be like searching.
Yeah, because we want to showcase
right.
filmmakers, we want to showcase the work, and so we want to make sure that your work is accessible for other people to watch. You know what I'm saying? So
right. So we have to be able to see it. So YouTube, Vimeo, like what Vimeo, sorry, not Vimeo, not money, but we should be able to watch it online so that people can say, oh, wow, I saw this film because it was recommended on the Black Film Challenge and it's really good. Like, that's what we want to hear. Like, people say, wow, I didn't know this filmmaker existed or this project was out there, but because of this Black Film Challenge, I saw it and it's actually pretty darn good. Check it out. Like, that's what we want to see happening, so that now you have a plethora of movies to take you at least through the midsummer to watch by some Black filmmakers.
Yeah, and you know, going off the whole thing of like not knowing that those people existed, like, you know, as a Black woman growing up in the 90s, my you know, it was difficult to find Black female filmmakers. You know, they definitely existed. They weren't necessarily mainstream. And when I wanted to be a filmmaker, you know, at the tender age of 14, you know, everyone was just like, oh, you want to be the next Spike Lee or the next Steven Spielberg? And I'm like, no. I respect you, Spike. I respect you, Steven Spielberg. But, you know, no one was saying like, oh, you want to be the next Casey Lemons, because that wasn't like a household name at the time. So, you know, now things have changed, and now there's a lot more out there, but still a lot of people don't know that they exist. And, you know, the reason why me and Carletta met up is through this this group called the JTC List, or Women of Color Unite.
Yep.
Which is specifically for industry professionals who are women of color, you know, like just meeting up and, you know, being able to be hired on things. So, you know, like these kinds of resources exist. And I wish that I had something like that when I was younger, you know, in order to like know, oh, there's a plethora of women of color doing amazing things and making amazing films. So hopefully Black Film Challenge adds to that. It gives you like a curated database of like films by Black people from all around the world. So yeah, that's really what
it's funny you say that. I was on a call. I was telling Kat that we should do a Clubhouse. But anyway, I was talking to a group of people, and they were saying how this young Black boy in Texas was really getting discouraged because he couldn't find a Black male STEM professional in his area, and how the teacher or the community really got around and trying to identify somebody he could look up to. And so it's really important. I think Mara Barker Keel mentioned it when she got her Black Girls Rock Award, that is, you have to see people. You want to see somebody who looks like you and sounds like you in order to give you that confidence, or even plant a seed. Maybe you've never thought about it. So it's important that we do these things intentionally, like the Black Film Challenge, because like the Spike Lee and Steven Spielberg is funny, but it's so true. Like nobody thinks about, when you say, oh, Black filmmaker, nobody 10 years ago would have said anybody female, like at all. It's like it was Denzel, Spike, and maybe somebody else. That was it. That was the existence of our the Black film anything. So now, of course, we've expanded. And so this Black Film Challenge just gives us another opportunity to do that expansion, right? To plant some additional seeds, because it's really important that we recognize that what we're doing now is going to make an impact later on, and that people are watching, especially young people. So we want to give them as many opportunities to see Black people doing all the things they know that can be done behind the camera by somebody Black. So please help us, please support us, please make sure you do your research, find some feature film out there that's sitting on YouTube I never heard of, but fits that criteria and is amazing. You know, we want to make sure we support projects that have some depth and some insight and support the Black culture, because there's a lot of people doing some really good things.
Yeah, and some very, outside of the box things as well. So definitely play along, stick in it as long as you can, and we'll have some fun things in store for you guys. So thank you.
You want to thank our sponsors? Is that we did? Is that it?
I think we did. Well, we didn't do some of the film festivals. We could do that. I'll do the sponsors again. Okay. So.
We would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors.
So we'd love to thank our sponsors. We have the Afro Horror Podcast, which is a podcast on that you can find on iTunes and Spotify and somewhere else probably, that is hosted by two lovely Black women, Sade Sellers and Chris Courtney Martin, and they just talk about horror films and the Black representation of, in horror films each week. So those are fun chats. I also like to thank Black Girl Film School, which is a nonprofit organization that is created by Jada Imanlian. She created this platform pretty much for me in the past, like 20 years ago or something, because I would have jumped all over it. But it is an online educational program to educate Black girls on filmmaking, on the process of filmmaking, and just their different positions behind the camera to help with that representation. So, in about, 10 years or so, some of these challenges will be a little bit more easier thanks to Black Girl Film School. Yes. Here's something. Then I like to thank our two film festivals that we have involved, Cine Odyssey Film Festival and San Francisco Black Film Festival. Woo! Thank you guys so much for your generosity. And then Lamique Cosmetic, and of course, iCam Productions, who is heralded by Carletta.
And then Bella Yoga, they'll be giving some virtual yoga exercises away. And then we're hoping to announce a couple more sponsors next Sunday. So we'll be here every Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, to share with you a recap of the week. So this is our intro. Join us, blackfilmchallenge.com. Get your calendar now. Get ahead of the game. So in your research.
The link, is it down here?
Oh no, it's not. We'll have to put it up there. It's in the. If you're on Facebook Live, it's in the comments. Definitely.
It'll be. You'll find it.
You'll find it. We got you. So check us out though every Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to get a recap of the week, to see if you won, and also learn about the films you're gonna miss through the week for our prompts. So it's really important that you pay attention. If you miss it though, come see us on Sundays. And as always, it'll be a Facebook Live, so you can catch it in the replay. But if you've watched the replay, please hashtag us, comment, like us, support us. We really would love to see some amazing Black films get a chance to be seen by a larger audience. So.
For sure. And not to mention that with these weekly recaps, we will be having on some special guests.
That's right.
Some filmmakers of color in different positions to just also discuss their experiences, hopefully having to do with some of the challenges that we have gone through for that week. So Yes, with that, thank you guys so much for tuning in or watching on the replay. I hope to see you on the interwebs, on the Twitters and the Instagrams.
Yep, that sounds awesome. Hey, you want to throw the title card again, Kat?
Oh, yes, I will. So this title card is what you'll be using as you follow Black Film Challenge. Bye, guys.